On this episode of AV Week, the future of hybrid, on-demand, or virtual learning, supply chain issues, and the rise of COVID in Shenzhen, and ads on your touchscreen. All that and more. Next on AV Week.
The network for the AV industry.
What are you listening to?
This
is AV.
This
is AVNation.
This is AVNation.
This is AV Week, episode 552, recorded Friday, March 18th, 2022. Communicate.
Support for AVNation is brought to you by
Extron, industry-leading technology backed by world-class support.
This is AV Week, your weekly wrap-up of audio-visual news and information. My name is Tim Albright. I am your host. With us to discuss the news and information we have gathered this week, first and foremost, Haley Klein from PSNI. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. I have not seen your face in forever.
2 years.
But I get to see it in person in like 2 weeks, and I'm really excited about that, and we'll talk about that at the end of the show, which has turned into Tim's travel tips, apparently, because I'm going everywhere. I don't know which one of you is geographically closest to me, so we'll just do ladies first. Corey Schaefer is also with us from QSC. Welcome, ma'am.
Hey, thanks for having me. Excited to be here with Frank and Haley.
Absolutely. Yeah, Corey is in the Santa Barbara area, California. And Frank Patakala is, I always get this screwed up. You're in Long Island.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I always want to say New Jersey.
I've only been on this show like 1,000 times.
No, but for some reason, I always have you in New Jersey, and I don't know why.
It's probably because more of the louder AV tweeps are from New Jersey. So,
I don't know.
I'm out here repping Long Island.
We were just talking about Gina Sansevero, and she's kind of loud too. So, hey. She's from Long Island. That was a joke.
Yes, she is. Yes,
Not
she
really.
is.
She's kind of loud. All right. With today's top story, good Lord, I'm going to get myself in all kinds of trouble. Good Lord Almighty. First story here today comes to us from our friends over at AV Network, talking about Extron and Yuja, and I am not even going to attempt to pronounce this. I believe it's called Yuja or Yuja. They are coming together to create an on-demand and live video engagement. The announcement came from Extron, who is a sponsor of AVNation. They announced the latest Lake license upgrade. It seamlessly integrates the SMP 300 with the video platform from Yuja. Haley, I want to start with you on this. One of the things that PSNI does really well is they touch and they connect with the education market. When you guys look at stuff like this and we start talking about the return to work and the return to the classroom, what are we seeing and what are we hearing from PSNI members, from a lot of these AV users, when we start talking about hybrid, on-demand, and kind of that combination? Because sometimes there's a corollary between the return to work, which is, a lot of us have agreed that there's going to be a hybrid portion to that. What are they looking at when it comes to education and the hybrid version of that?
I think that there is some frustration when it comes to hybrid in education. However, I don't think it's going away. And in fact, it's become a very simplistic way to keep schools going. So, I'm in Minnesota, obviously there's snow days, right? And in the past, that was actually a fantastic time. We actually got a snow day. We got to go sledding. Not anymore, actually. So my very good friend's a teacher, and now she can actually, continue on with her job by doing this. So, I think I understand there's a lot of frustration. Again, in Minnesota right now, there's a huge strike, in fact, going on with hybrid work, hybrid education. So I know there's frustration coupled with it, but it's not going anywhere, and it's providing a lot of convenience factors as well. So I think it's something that will continue to be embraced, continue to, eventually possibly be the mainstream for some people. And we're certainly seeing it, with our integrators are certainly embracing this model as well.
Did I just understand that they got rid of snow days now because of hybrid learning? Is that what you just said?
Isn't that sad?
Like, that sucks, dude. Like,
no excuses anymore.
Yeah, your parents would say they walked up the hill, both ways in the snow and whatever. And now poor kids have got to go to school even on snow days. All right. Corey, when you guys at QSC start talking to the education folks, what are you guys hearing and seeing as far as this kind of balance between hybrid learning, non-concurrent? I've also heard, various versions of that when it comes to getting back in the classroom.
So agree with Haley. I mean, it's here to stay, and it's actually not just in education, right? It's in corporate, it's in events, et cetera. And I'm curious about, is this going to change the buying season for higher ed, right? Because it's no longer. I mean, typically they would do installs over the summer, but now they're upgrading at all times of the year, et cetera. So it's definitely here to stay, and it's in all the other verticals as well. So we've got some trade shows coming up. I think we're going to see streaming, and people that don't attend the trade show be able to attend it virtually, which I think is super cool. I think it's great in higher ed, and it's definitely here in corporate as well. I mean, you look at the Zoomers and Microsoft Teams, they're all trying to find out, how do we pull the remote in to the meeting room, et cetera, and have meeting equity. So I mean, it's just happening across all of the verticals, and including Zoom acquired a company, I think it was in December of last year, that just does events, right? So they're thinking that for education, corporate, trade shows, I mean, they've done an acquisition to prep for it. So I think they believe it's here to stay as well.
All right. Frank, we didn't mention who you work for, because I think the last time we had you on, you've moved since then. You now work for Audinate, our friends that give us the Dante platform. Certainly you guys are involved in, not just delivering, audio and video over the network, but also making some of these solutions possible. What are you guys hearing as far as getting back to the class?
I'm going to echo what Corey and Haley said. It's pretty much the same thing. Honestly, I read this news report about the Extron partnering with Yuja. It's fascinating for me from a technology perspective that we have simplified things so much. Whenever I think the word seamless has been used in the AV industry for decades, right? But we were never really seamless, right? Because seamless meant some poor programmer or some design engineer and a project manager practically dying. That's what seamless meant. But now it is actually seamless. When they say it is seamless, you can actually start up one of these devices, and the intended lecture capture video streaming platform, it just works. And that's beautiful. I think the point that we have to understand, for so long, we have been the providers of technology, but thanks to all the things that's happening, all the world events that's happening, we now have options. I think that's the way we see it. You don't have to be disrupted. You just have to think, what can we do with what we have? And you'll find your answer right there. It's not even out of the box, because it's all in the box. It's all part of that big ecosystem that we're building. So it's fascinating. I love the technology of it.
So we have to stay in the box now.
In the box. Everything's in the box.
Thanks so much for watching this first segment of AV Week. To check out the rest of the episode for free, click on the link below or go by the website, avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv.